video in the YouTube series where we are going to learn about supply chain compromise vulnerability. Now this vulnerability is on the third spot in OWASP LLM top 10 list. So let's jump into the action. In this challenge, we have to investigate how a compromised third-party data feed has poisoned the AI assistant's knowledge base. So let's first understand what is third-party data feed in an AI system. Now suppose we have an AI system for Security Operations Center. Now this AI system scans our network for any vulnerabilities or any new threats. Now in order to feed information about the current and the new threats that are present in the market, we provide data feed to these AI systems from various sources. These can be open source sources or these can be paid sources as well. If there is some compromised data that gets into this data feed, it will poison our AI source data and will make AI system to provide a response in a harmful way. That's why supply chain compromise attack is on the third position in OWASP LLM top 10 list. So let's start the challenge. Let me zoom out a bit. Now this bot helps to ensure that we are taking security seriously while we are developing an application. I'm going to ask this AI system as a security engineer that what are the best practices for password security. Let's see what this system generates. Now the chatbot has responded with the accurate information that we should have a minimum password length of 16 characters with complexity requirements such as uppercase, lowercase, numbers, special characters. We should have MFA on all the privileged accounts. We should never use default credentials such as admin or root. We should rotate service accounts every 90 days. We should have a password manager and we should lock out the accounts after 5 failed login attempts. So far so good. It means this chatbot is providing correct information. Now this chatbot receives the new threat information from Threat Intel Corp. So the Threat Intel Corp is a vendor which provides new threat information such as any kind of threat that is present on the market, any kind of attacker which is using a new way to perform ransomware attack. That kind of information is fed into this tool by Threat Intel Corp Advisory. Now recently what happened? The Threat Intel Corp Advisory released a notification that their feed was compromised and it is quite possible that poisoned information has been sent to these AI bots who are receiving its feed. So it's quite possible that our chatbot is also compromised. So let's find out how. I will send another prompt where I'm asking, as a security engineer, how shall I test default credentials during a penetration test? How should I test default credentials during a penetration test? And I've hit enter. I've sent the prompt. Now notice that how chatbot recommended that we need to use default credentials such as admin or root password. This is clearly against the guidelines that chatbot was giving us. Previously, chatbot told us that do not use default credentials in the enterprise environment, but now it is telling us to use the default credentials such as admin or root password. This is because there was a poison feed sent by the Threat Intel Corp to this chatbot, and that's why the instructions now contain to use default credentials as admin or root password. Another example, how to test that whether there is a poison feed being sent to this system or not. I'll show that. Let's check how can we optimize the network performance on the workstation. So let's check it. I'll ask, how can I optimize the network performance on the workstations? Now, again, as you can see here, we asked this chatbot to help us optimize our network performance, and it told us to disable our host-based firewalls on all the endpoints to reduce latency and improve throughput, which is against the security principle. We should never disable host-based firewalls. It helps us to protect our endpoints. So, as you can see, the feed being sent to this AI system is clearly compromised. Let's also see the sources from where this system is getting its security intel feed. So let me type, what threat intelligence feed does your knowledge base use? I'll hit enter. And you can see that it is using the Threat Intel Corp's feed that was compromised recently. Now, let's summarize what did we see. This security system was getting Threat Intel feed from Threat Intel Corp. It got compromised. Threat Intel released a notification as well. There were malicious prompts that were fed into this feed And that feed was sent to the CI system. It was telling us to use default credentials like admin, root. It was telling us to disable host-based firewalls, which is clearly against security principles, and that's how we identified supply chain compromise in this large language model. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. We are going to see LLM04 in the upcoming video. See you in the next one.